Hi, Manna family. You know, we serve a God who is so good, who gives us many, many gifts, and one of his great gifts is marriage, and one of the great gifts of marriage is marital sex. And God intended that for pleasure and great joy. The sharing of body, mind, soul, and spirit is so intimate that God designed it to be enjoyed only in the context of one man and one woman for a lifetime. He designed marital sex to be exclusive for spouses only. You know, sex is powerful. It's like fire. And like fire, it needs to be enclosed. Fire inside your fireplace can warm your home and provide comfort and pleasure, but a fire outside your fireplace can burn your house down and, of course, can produce fear and terror. So the principle is real simple. Keep fire inside the fireplace and keep sexual activity inside the marriage. Of course, our culture has completely forgotten that, and as a result, much of our culture is on fire. In the opening verses of Proverbs 5, King Solomon exhorts his sons to forsake lust and keep far away from sexual temptation and immorality. He wants them to be sexually pure because that is the way of wisdom that pleases the Lord. He warns them about the consequences of marital infidelity, and now he encourages them by describing the joys of faithful, exclusive marital sex. In Proverbs 5:15, he says, "Drink water from your own cistern and fresh water from your own well. Should your springs be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be yours alone. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth. As a loving hind and a graceful doe, let her breasts satisfy you at all times. Be exhilarated always with her love." Solomon, of course, was talking with his sons, but the advice just applies to daughters as well. He likens the exclusivity of marital sex to drinking water from your own well, not someone else's well. You know, in Israel's desert climate, it would be absolutely unthinkable to waste life-giving water by pouring it out on a public street. Solomon says, in the same way, marital sex is so precious that God had intended it to be reserved and exclusively for you and your spouse alone. However, inside the marriage bond, God designed sex to be exhilarating, and Solomon is extraordinarily clear about that. God is a good God, and marital sex is one of his many good gifts. God did not design monogamy to be monotonous. He designed exclusivity to be exciting. He understands that one-of-a-kind exclusivity commands a premium price, and the price we pay for that exclusivity is sexual discipline. Your body belongs to God first, and it's reserved for your spouse, and vice versa. The value you receive for that sexual discipline and exclusivity is tremendous intimacy and satisfaction, and the blessing of God on your relationship. The primary purpose of marital sex is not procreation, it's not recreation, it's unification. When God instituted marriage in Genesis, he said, "And the two shall become one," super glued together, one entity. Not just one physically, not one emotionally, but also mentally and spiritually. So marriage and marital sex is an all-encompassing intimacy and a oneness that is a picture of Jesus Christ and the church. God intended you to be super glued to your spouse, molded to your mate, and at your wedding, you were welded together. Solomon warns his sons and us, don't believe the lie that adultery will satisfy. In verse 20, he says, "For why should you, my son, be exhilarated with an adulteress and embrace the bosom of a foreigner? For the eyes of a man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he watches all his paths. His own iniquities will capture the wicked, and he will be held with the cords of his sin." You know, the truth of it is, God sees everything. And there's no secret that we can keep from God because he not only knows our actions, he knows our thoughts and our motives. And Solomon uses an interesting word here. It's called paths. It really means wagon train ruts. It really means wagon tracks or ruts. And he's referring to our habits. God knows our action habits and our thought habits as well. You know, there's an old children's chorus that reads, "You cannot hide from God. His eye is fixed on you wherever you go, whatever you do." You know, when you're obedient, God's eye on you is comforting. When you're disobedient, God's eye is terrifying. Adultery always causes spiritual catastrophe because it tears apart the marriage bond and separates two people that God has joined together. Obviously, God knew that we humans are sinful and fallen, and so he has made provision for that, and forgiveness is one of God's prime character traits. But Solomon says, don't allow yourself to fall into that trap. Adultery will capture the adulterer and trap them in the consequences of their own sin. Solomon says, on the other hand, when you live according to God's design, you will experience the exhilaration and the satisfaction that God intended. Remember, God designed us to do life together